Hey guys, how are you doing today? So we're going to finish with lesson number 3. Remember, we are going to finish unit 9 from this level number 15. And the final lesson is giving suggestions. Remember that at the beginning of the unit we mentioned on the first lesson different ways to give suggestions, right? And it was with a model, right? For example, could or should or can. Okay, so maybe you could visit a nutritionist, maybe you should visit a nutritionist, maybe you can visit a nutritionist, right? With gerund questions, right? So with ing, going, taking. I want to meet new people. What about going to the gym? Have you thought about taking karate lessons? Okay, taking, going. Also with negative questions. I want to get a better job. Why don't you study a master's degree? Why don't you study? Why don't you study a master's degree? Okay. And also with infinitives. To take, to watch. I want to learn another language. One option is to take a language course. Or it might be a good idea to watch videos and listen to music. Okay? Anyway, for this lesson, number 3, giving suggestions, I have just some ideas of questions. And in this case, here we have different questions, different issues or problems, maybe from a friend or a family member, and maybe you can give them a suggestion, right? So I don't know, imagine with your friends or your family, and maybe you're in a conversation and they say or they ask, so how can I lose weight? I really want to lose weight. Maybe your suggestion could be, well, maybe you can reduce your sugar intake. Okay? And as you can see, this example is using a model. The model is can. Maybe you can. Maybe you can reduce your sugar intake. Okay? That could be a way to lose weight. Maybe number 2, how can I have more free time? And then maybe your suggestion is with a question you could ask, have you thought about leaving work earlier? So maybe this friend or family member, they work until 7, 8, 9, 10 at night, and obviously they don't have any free time, they want more. So in this case, your suggestion is, have you thought about leaving work earlier? Okay. As you can see, this is an example of a gerund question. Leaving, ing. Have you thought about leaving work earlier? Number 3, what could I do to save more money? Okay. Again, you can make a suggestion. Why don't you open an investment fund? Why don't you open an investment fund, right? An investment fund, well, is you go to the bank and they have these special options for you to deposit your money, and obviously you cannot withdraw, you cannot take any money out, but after a while, maybe 1, 2, or 3 months, or 6 months, or 1 year, and then you can withdraw that money and it will have a little bit of interest, right? So you could make a little bit of money through an investment fund, for example, or at least save money. So what could I do to save more money? Well, why don't you open an investment fund, okay, at the bank? Number 4, what could I do to be more fit? In this case, fit means to be healthy, to maybe look slim, right? To lose weight, to eat healthy, etc. So that's fit, right? So maybe again your friend or a family member asks, what could I do to be more fit? Maybe your suggestion is, it might be a good idea to walk or ride a bike to work or school. Okay? It might be a good idea to walk or ride a bike to work or school. Okay? Again, we're using infinitives. It might be a good idea to walk. Okay? And infinitive. It might be a good idea to walk or ride a bike to work or school. And finally, the question, how can I learn another language? Right? So, well, in this case, in my experience, and a lot of people ask me this question, what can I do, right? How can I learn another language? Well, obviously, you need to be constant, first of all, yes. But in this case, well, the example I wrote is, what about talking or texting to someone from a different country? So, how can I learn another language? Well, what about talking or texting to someone from a different country, right? There are some options online where you can connect with people from all over the world. And for example, if you want to learn English, well, then you can connect with someone from the United States or from England, and then you can just chat, okay? To practice, obviously. And you practice English and they practice Spanish, for example, if you speak Spanish. So, anyway, these are some examples of questions and then suggestions. Remember, we saw you can with a model. Have you thought about living with the gerund? Why don't you open an investment fund? This is an example of a negative question. Why don't you? It might be a good idea to walk with infinitives. And what about talking or texting with gerund? ing. Talking, texting, okay? So this is the end of lesson number 3. And well, remember that the objective was to describe a service, and we learned that on lesson 1 and number 2 with different types of activities and how other people can do them for you, the structure, and also the second goal was to make suggestions, right? And we learned to make suggestions with models, gerund questions, negative questions, infinitives, right? And we learned that on unit number 1, on lesson number 1, I'm sorry, and lesson number 3, which is the one we're right now, right? Okay, so good job, and I will see you for the next unit. Have a nice day.